Hello, welcome. Let's see, Tim and Veronique, Charlie and Lisa, thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to start talking about one of my passions, which is lean methodology. Um, my name is Barb Groff, and I work at Echo Consulting. And today I'll be talking about lean project management. So I'm going to start you off with a little housekeeping chores. So please do chime into the chat. I have team members on the call that will help to get me that information. You can also raise your hand and unmute yourself if you'd like to engage. At the end of this webinar, we will be sending everyone this deck, so you'll have it for your reference to check back to, and a recording of it also. So thanks so much for your time today and your lunch hour, and let's get rolling and learn about lean. So I work for Echo Consulting. We are a project management solution company, and we focus on project management office stand-ups, business automations. We do some part-time staff aug, and then my passion is we focus with our clients on change management and business process improvement. So we're a small company that our fearless leader, Molly, started 3 years ago, and we have just grown incredibly. We have a great team. We really have a passion for sharing our knowledge and our methodologies with our clients and getting them to be self-sufficient project managers within inside their organizations. I always say I'm lucky to be with Echo. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you a little background on lean and what it is. And then I'm going to talk to you about lean project management and applying those lean principles in our projects. Some tools that are in what's called a lean toolkit. You probably all are using some of them and you don't even realize it. The benefits to applying lean to our projects, how to apply them, and then we'll wrap up with how technology can really round out having lean into your projects and making them really efficient. So I'm going to start off with opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Great quote by Milton Berle. I think as project managers, we all have a tendency to be very curious, to ask questions, to really find that piece of the jigsaw that is missing, piece of the jigsaw puzzle that's missing, and really how can we help make our clients' lives better in their project management. So I think we all have that in common. So I'm going to do a little background in project management. These I came up with that I've experienced are four of the kind of top hitters of why projects have some problems or issues. There is research on this that kind of aligns with what I've experienced also, and I'm sure you all too have thoughts. So do put those in the chat if you'd like to. My first one is really the people process. So too many projects for the resources and capacity. I think we all have this experience where, our people have projects starting at the same time and they have 3 going or 4 going at once. So it's really how do we best manage our resources internally to make our projects successful?
Hey, Barb,
Yeah.
are you sharing your screen? Because I'm not seeing it.
Uh-oh. Should sure be. And I apologize for that if I am not.
No worries. Wanted you to know.
Not a good call. Better?
Yes, thank you.
I apologize, guys. Good thing we didn't get very far. The second one is really managing our project strategies and priorities. So that's the process. So many times, so many projects come from leadership or from departments within your organization, and nobody knows who they should be working on and spending the resources on first. So having a strategy that aligns with your business strategies also. The third one is really project transparency and visibility. So that one is what are we measuring? One of my favorite sayings is, measure data that matters. And by that, I mean is if you can't use the data, if you can't make changes and improvements based on what you're measuring, then you're just measuring data. And we really want to have some data that shows us how to improve something and how to make our processes better. And the last one is cost. And also projects always cost money. How are we best making the resources and the priorities set so that we get a costly ROI on our project? So all of these result in delayed projects, which cost time and money, and applying lean project principles to those really helps. So first, we're going to give a little history on lean. Lean is really I call it an attitude or a methodology. It's a systematic approach to eliminating redundancy. In lean, they call that waste, and increasing value by doing that. So lean waste is really what activities and processes are you doing that aren't adding value to what your outcome is wanting to be. And a lean process, we really study those activities and we look at improving them and how to eliminate the waste so that we can make them more efficient. So it really is a great approach, and I think you all are probably already doing it. You just don't realize it in your projects. Lean was developed by the Toyota Corporation back in the 1950s, so it's been around a long time. Prior to that, the American automobile industry really had a stronghold on the industry. And Toyota came on the market and very quickly grew and surpassed some of those American companies. And they really did it by the way that they brought their process into standardization and repeatability and eliminating waste. So they were the forefront of lean. It's been in manufacturing way back in the 1980s. It went into IBM and Intel's of the world. So it really has been adopted, and those companies that are very successful have lean principles. So Toyota identified 3 different types of waste. Muda, which is the first one, is really the time and effort activities. So I've done value stream maps with like a medical practice and just watch people in their daily activities of what room they went into and where they went to get supplies and when they went down to the front desk or to the lab. And you see this crossover of just wasted time. And that's really what Muda is about, is spending effort on activities that aren't really adding value to what you're trying to accomplish. So Mura is really lack of standardization. One of the things when Toyota brought in lean was they standardized the way they were making cars. So every part had a number, every place it went had a number on the car. They took out the inconsistencies in process that sometimes people create or sometimes we set up in the project planning, but it really is operational time and resource waste. And then the third type of waste is MURI, which is overcommitment. And this is where our people come in. So our people are either over capacity or they're working on something that isn't adding value. And this is the demands and the stress. And these 3 principles of waste can be applied to anything that you're doing, whether it's projects or not. This slide's a little busy and I apologize for that, but there are many tools over the years that have been developed in what's called a lean toolbox. I kind of broke them out in the dark blue lines are the category that the toolbox has, and then the underneath are the tools that we use in applying lean principles. And some of you might, have done bell charts with, or you've done a flow chart, or you've done a chart where you're, project priority chart. So we'll walk through in a minute just which ones we really apply to project management the most. But these can be referred back to, you can do Google search and look up, what is a PDSA, what is a value stream map, and you're probably already incorporating some of these and can get some more definition on the tools themselves. by doing a little research and making them consistent. So now let's talk about, we know what lean is and we know where it came from. Let's talk about lean project management. So lean project management is really applying those principles of lean that we just talked about into your projects. So it's really a data-driven approach that focuses on eliminating waste and redundancies in your phases of your project, making them consistent, and then making efficient use of your people, your process, and your technology, which were the key problems that we talked about just prior to that. So here's a really busy slide. This is from PMI, but it really has a lot of great information on how we apply lean project management into a project. So in the blue in the middle are really the phases of a project. You all might have different varieties of those, but these are really how we bring a project to attrition. And then over here, we have what the lean principle. So as you saw on the slide before, we talked about value stream. This is really where you're going in and you're figuring out, we call these workshops at Echo, where we talk about discovery with our clients. And where are they at now? So you want to start your project off meeting where the customer is now. What is their problem? What is their main pain point? What is it that they're trying to achieve and what are they having trouble with? As you understand that, then you can start looking at that process that they've explained to you and where in it is it falling short? Where is there redundancy or is there waste? What kind of value are they trying to get out of this project? And look at the cycle time that it's taking them to efficiently get through it. The next phase, we really talk about identifying the waste of lean. We look at flow diagrams. We look at cause and effect. We look at what is the process? What would the dream process be? And then we go into improving it. So we're brainstorming and we're coming up with ideas of how to change things. And then the final step would be to standardize the work and try and make it repeatable and consistent for every project that they start. So I'm sure a lot of this sounds familiar to you all, and it is in your processes. It's just that as we apply lean, we're really trying to get that attitude of how to deliver a project and look at the waste and make it consistent to get a better outcome. So lean project management really, in the approach, I highlighted 4 areas here where we really want to look at detailed planning. I think the planning part of anything that we do, whether it's in a project or not, is the most critical phase. It's where we really have to get a picture. We have to get a vision of what we're trying to get to and the steps it would take to get there. So in lean project management, you're really going to analyze a lot in this step, and you're going to look and start thinking about ways that you're going to improve in there. The documentation really fosters that you're going to be able to do this consistently in a standard process approach. We're always in our projects looking for ways to improve them, whether it's a little tweak, whether it's an automation, whether it's a workflow. It always is. Anything can be improved at any point, and when you're applying lean, that's part of the cycle. And then the frequent process improvement is we identify value to where the customer hits perspective. So what we think would be value may not be what the customer is. And then at the end, kind of included a quote of looking at project management at what is needed, when it's needed, and the minimum amount of materials, people that it would take to get you there. So here, there are many, many benefits of lean, and there are many benefits of applying it into your project management. I tried to sum it up here, but the main goal is that we have a great quality in a project. So in predictability, we see value. The team increases its productivity. Then we go into efficiency, where you're really getting a transparency and accountability. Your resources are measured in line, and you delivered focused tasks for everyone, so they know when something's due and they know what they're supposed to do. And then the third would be that we're reducing cost and we're having quality in our projects. So some tools that we use as we work through the projects are communication with our client. We use CRADE logs, where we record change, risks, actions, decisions, and issues. And that really helps us to keep the communication channel going with our clients. It also helps to really set expectations to keep the project moving. You know, they can click off that they've completed something and we've completed something, and it keeps the project progressing, which is going to save time as you work through that project plan. So this slide just kind of sums up what Lean can do to your projects. We're going to add value, and we're going to do that by clearly establishing the project requirements. We're going to get the right pricing in there. We're going to optimize the workflows. We oftentimes in projects have what's called scope creep, where our client kind of changes their mind or wants to bring in something else that they have an idea for. And Lean really helps to monitor and keep a pulse on projects that are going out of your original charter. And then we talk about value streams. So what in the project activities is going to bring the most value to the project and to the client's goal, to their strategy plan. And in here, we eliminate strain on the process and the budget. And then the most important, I think, is commitment. Obviously, our stakeholders have to have a buy-in to the project and into Lean principles themselves. So they need to be invested in the project and to support its success and have it adopted. And then we share. So the communication and how we're going to eliminate our waste and get approvals and our resourcing. So these are all the really what makes a project plan successful when you apply Lean principles. So this is where we get to the fun part. So as with anything, you know, technology makes things better, hopefully. And by technology and Lean project management, I really am talking about the different types of platforms that we can apply. So we have Echo is a Smartsheet aligned partner. We also work with many other platforms, Monday, ClickUp. There's Asana, there's Microsoft Project, you know, there's tons of different flavors out there. But what happens when you bring technology into Lean project management is you're really, really knocking down and pinpointing consistency in getting the same process in place. So every project that we start here at Echo starts out with a project plan. We incorporate our CRADE log, we incorporate our timeline, and it allows our teams to really streamline workflows. So you could add automations, you could add formulas that make things not manual and that make them a great picture of the data. We can add timeline integrations. So Lean really centralizes. When you bring in these platforms and this technology, it really centralizes the communication and the task assignments and the updates. So it keeps your project moving and it moves it to the completion date so that you hit it on time. So if your timeline is 8 to 10 weeks, the technology of Smartsheet or one of these other platforms will really help move that project and get it to the completion date on time. So we're very highly advocates of technology. Brought in some snapshots here from Smartsheet. So the one on the top left is some automations that we set up. We incorporate these, and this is how you could move and get a visualization of your project health. You could set up a status that when something's complete, it completes out that column, so it shows 100%. They can see where they're at. Are they at 75? Are they at 40? Are they behind? So you really with these platforms, you have so many tools for visualization. We also bring in some automations that move the project plan along. So like if phase 1 is complete, it'll move to phase 2. These really help keep everyone accountable that's on the project, but they also really foster sustainability of keeping the project going. At the same time, they're eliminating manual steps and waste, or even friction points of somebody doesn't know what's happening. So they really help foster that. Over here, we add, and Smartsheet has the function of conditional formatting, where we really use colors to really highlight things that you usually use red for something that's past due. We highlight something by either status or a change or a due date, or if it needs to be escalated. And these really increase the value to stakeholders and leadership to see at a real quick glance where the project's at, what's behind, who's assigned to it. And they really eliminate risk of things getting behind and things being off target, because you have such a great visualization. So the technology really helps manage the projects and your priorities. And at the same time, all of that helps keep the project on target. So you're increasing your profitability and decreasing your cost. So when teams get clarity in their work and then things are getting done, there's no telling how much they can accomplish in the same amount of time that they used to. So a big advocate of lean process thinking. I think you all are doing it. It's just a matter of now you understand where it all came from, maybe in the history of lean and tools that you're using. But we really can establish a great value stream, a flow, and seek opportunities to consistently grow and learn. So it's a great quote by Zig Ziglar: success occurs when the opportunity meets preparation. So pairing your projects and setting them up for success by applying lean principles is really how you're going to be successful in your solutions. So if anyone has any questions, please type them in. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. And as you leave and work on your projects, put on your lean thinking hats and work towards really value-packed project phases. Think about the waste and where you could eliminate redundancies and increase your outcomes with your clients. So we here at Echo are here to help. If you have any questions, you can reach out. We do, you can reach out via our website. There's a link to schedule a quick meeting with us. You can call us, you can email us, and I really appreciate your time today. And thank you all for being here. I hope that I've inspired you to put some lean thinking into your projects, and hope that you all have successful outcomes. Thank you.